Hey, got a quick update for you today, or at least not so much an update, but I just want to share with you some of the latest update. This is version 1.27.11.0. This is part of the new beta release. This is the latest part of the beta release. And I'm recording this. I'm using a Quest 2 headset, and I'm recording this in the Quest. The recording does add a little bit of jumpiness. You can see the movements here and the actions. I don't know if you saw the raw pedals, brakes, and rudders. There we go. After I unlock the controls, I'm not going to bother with radio and ATC and all of that. But you can see I have vehicles, I have workers, I have different things now enabled here. We are in Aspen, Colorado. We're doing the Otter, the DHC 6 Twin Otter, and we're in cargo configuration with 4 props on these spinners. It doesn't, the plane comes in 3 or 4 blade props, and the real only difference, there's no true performance difference. Most people may not know this, but the real difference is the 4 blade prop is quieter. So I just triggered a pushback here. I'm not going to watch the pushback cart because I know how many times this silly thing goes through the plane, and I don't want to ruin the realism here by having this person come through the plane as they line up. So, but it looks like they're actually getting lined up properly this time. But yeah, so Aspen, Colorado, and I got some plastic border walls over there. It looks like some trash bins, and this is standard. I don't have any add-on scenery here. My community folder at this point in time is completely empty. Got some trucks over there, got pylons. You can see everything quite good here. Cars good, looking good. Detail on the cars. Everything's actually looking really, really nice right now. Seems to be performing really smooth. I have not checked the frame rate yet. We will do that once we get in the ear. The gauges, I can read the numbers that I need to read. Like on the torque gauge, I can read 3, 6, 7. I can read the main dividers for numbers. Let me use my left power control here and get us turning. Here we go. I love having a dual quadrant. It makes it so much more fun to fly these twin engines. And this one's a real easy one because there is no mixture on the Twin Otter. It's fuel on or off, basically. Which is interesting. I'm always trying to think I got to tune my mixture, but you don't do that in this aircraft. So yeah, it looks good. Detail is pretty clear, pretty sharp. I'm not seeing any tearing. I'm not seeing blurriness. Not seeing really any stuttering or anything. So I'm guessing that the frame rate right now would show, and I will check it in a little bit, but I'm guessing right now it would probably show, I can read the signs good. Nothing's floating on the blue markers on the side, no borders there. A lot of times they seem to float until you're right on top of them. But from this point right now, I can say that they look very, very good. They're on the ground and they're clear. Again, default scenery, I have nothing in my community folder, and not a default plane, but not a add-on from Flight Sim. This is obviously purchased from the store. And I also show my settings in a little bit, but for the most part, everything is on high. I don't think I have anything on ultra right now. I think I have almost everything up on high, but I have things on that I would normally have turned off in the past. Yeah, this isn't looking too bad. It's weird. I had an issue and I had to actually reinstall last night, and prior to that, this was looking better than it ever had. I don't know what was going on, and then when I did the reinstall, it kind of lost something that it had, which I wish I could get it back because it was beautiful. Everything was just really, really smooth. But this is looking really good right now, yeah. Very happy with this performance. I think I could probably make it a little bit smoother. I think I have my bushes and grass, I think, is on medium, not on high. Trees, buildings, high. Clouds, high. I think texture resolution, high. The ambient occlusion is probably off. Bloom is probably on. I'm not sure on light shafts because I play with those a lot when I'm flying day or night. Yeah, see, I'm listening to the engines and I keep wanting to trim them with set the mixture. That's how when I'm flying, that's how I usually do it most of the time. And I go by the sound of the engines to set my mixture. This place, you just don't do that. Let me try and get a little close to the trees here. I always got the terrain warning in this guy, but I want to just see how they go by at a low level, and not bad, not bad, not too bad. I don't know how it'll come out when we see the recording afterwards. So right now, yeah, I'm looking at 36, 37 frames per second, which is what I kind of figured I was getting based on how it looked. And you can see I'm high, 16x, shadow map 768, terrain. Oh, terrain's on 256. I could turn that down. Contact shadows, windshield effects, medium. Yeah, ambient occlusion off. Yeah, and then yeah, you can see buildings, trees on high. And I don't have my terrain level turned way down. It's up on 75 and object levels on 105. And I'm on performance right now. Balance and performance are very close. I think performance gives you a few more. This I'm going to do. I'm going to drop this down from 100 to 95%. And now you can see now I'm over 40. Now I'm, oops, no, give it a second. I'm moving, but let me get situated here in my seat. Sorry about that. Now you'll see it'll go back up there. Yeah, see now I'm going to be closer to 40 on average by dropping the open XR toolkit resolution down from 100 to 95%, which still leaves me at over 2,000 per eye on my resolution, which is very close to the Quest native resolution, which I think is 18 something, 1832, I think it is, by 2000 and something. But yeah, so dropping that, yeah, now it's a little bit smoother. Still looks pretty good to me at 95% for the resolution in OpenXR. Obviously, there's a lot of other settings involved, and I'm not going to really put out a settings video. I'll show you a couple screenshots once in a while like I just did. But not everybody's trying the beta, and it's going to change. Who knows what's going to happen before it's released, which I believe is scheduled for the end of August. But the DLSS feature, for me, with the Quest 2 headset, using the MS Store version of Flight Sim, and using SteamVR with my Oculus Quest, not the Oculus applications, but I use SteamVR, I don't use the KY. I try them all the time, every time there's new updates, and they never perform for me as good on this computer as SteamVR does. So that's how I configure it. And I don't configure for the big airliners because I'm never flying at 30,000 feet. I fly down low, and that's why I try and get my best settings for, which I have to assume means that if you're at 30,000 feet, you're probably going to get 50 frames per second. Maybe not at the airports, but I don't fly the big planes. They hog so much frames right now, but we'll see what happens when DLSS comes in permanently, and Nvidia updates their driver to support it in the app.